Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a fascinating but challenging topic: what happens if an empath stays silent in front of a narcissist? As you may know, in a relationship with a narcissist, an empath often finds themselves caught in a cycle of manipulation and enduring emotional wounds. But what if they choose to remain silent and not react? Would that make the narcissist back down, or could it lead to unforeseen consequences? In today's video, we'll explore the chaotic reactions that a narcissist may display when they don't receive a response from an empath, ranging from confusion and anger to using every trick in the book to regain control. If you're an empath or are in a relationship with a narcissist, this will certainly be valuable information to help you understand their psychology better. But before we start, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to new members of the channel. Your presence is a great motivation for us. This is a space dedicated to those who are eager to grow through sharing and absorbing knowledge. Every time I share, I also learn from the precious interactions with all of you. If this is your first visit, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to become part of the community and join us in exploring more intriguing topics. Narcissists with their fragile egos often feel threatened by anyone who dares to challenge them. To protect their grandiose sense of self, they won't hesitate to put others down, using any manipulative tactic to achieve their goals. Sadly, even when you sincerely share your feelings, hoping for understanding, the narcissist hardly ever cares. Your sadness, hurt, and sense of betrayal are ignored. They never admit fault, nor do they try to mend things. Don't waste your time and energy on someone who doesn't appreciate you. They'll only blame you for everything, even accusing you of being selfish for daring to express your true emotions. This is why silence is often the most effective tactic when dealing with a narcissist. However, be prepared, as the narcissist won't easily let their prey go. They'll employ every strategy, from gentle charm to aggressive intimidation, just to pull you back in and recapture your attention. Let's uncover their typical playbook, following the calculated escalation of their emotional tactics. Number 1. Fake apologies. A very familiar tactic that narcissists often use when cornered is the fake apology. Have you ever noticed that when you decide to stay silent and create some distance, suddenly the person who previously showed no regard for your feelings now appears remorseful? But remember, this is just an act. The narcissist, even if they try to appear regretful, never truly believes they are wrong. In their mind, they are always right, and any faults lie with circumstances or other people. But when an empath, their precious source of emotional supply, begins to distance themselves, the narcissist grows anxious. However, this anxiety doesn't stem from love or genuine care. They only fear losing someone they can manipulate and rely on to inflate their ego. So, what do they do next? They try to pull you back with a superficial apology. Statements like, "I'm sorry for everything I did," may sound remorseful, but are actually vague and meaningless. A narcissist will never specify what they did wrong, as they never truly admit fault. This is simply a trap, a way to lure you back into their control. When faced with such an apology, ask yourself, is this true remorse, or just a ploy to maintain their power over you? Always remember that a genuine apology comes with a clear acknowledgement of wrongdoing and a commitment to real change. Don't let fake apologies soften you. They are only a performance to keep you within their manipulative grasp. Number 2. They will intensify pursuit. After the fake apology, the narcissist often escalates with a stronger tactic known as hovering, a subtle ploy aimed at winning back your attention. They'll return with a vulnerable, pitiful image, using sweet words and romantic gestures to create the impression that they've changed and truly need you. They'll make promises to change, paint visions of a happy future, and profess they'll never hurt you again, vowing to make amends for past mistakes. But don't be fooled, this is merely a mask to hide their true nature. Their goal is not to restore the love you once had, but to lull you into a false sense of security so you lower your guard. Once you begin to trust them again, they can easily re-establish control and continue the cycle of manipulation. Narcissists often remind you of the sacrifices they've made or the hardships they've endured as a way to make you feel guilty for leaving. They won't hesitate to blame you, accusing you of being cold-hearted for remaining silent. They'll say that you've changed, that you're the reason they're suffering, because they're no longer receiving your love. They hope you feel pity, opening the door for them to re-enter your life. But be cautious. This is the narcissist's well-worn tactic. If you let yourself be drawn in again, you're only giving them more weapons to use against you in the future. By yielding, you're not only allowing the cycle of manipulation to continue, but also giving them more power over your emotions. Number 3. They will threaten you. If you stay firm and don't respond to their sweet words, the narcissist's manipulation tactics will take a darker turn. When honeyed words fail, their gentle facade vanishes, revealing a more menacing and intimidating side. Threats start to appear, and they are far from gentle. They may threaten to harm themselves, spread damaging rumors to tarnish your reputation, or even threaten to use force if necessary. These threats are not limited to you, but may extend to your loved ones, those they know you hold dear. This is the narcissist's way of tapping into your deepest fears, creating mental pressure to make you feel helpless and scared. They want you to think that returning to them is the only way to protect yourself and the people you care about. Narcissists often target your vulnerabilities, the hidden fears they know will impact you the most. They aim to shake your resolve, undermine your confidence, until you feel there is no choice but to accept and return to the toxic relationship. This is a sophisticated threat tactic, not only to lure you back but to render you entirely dependent, living in fear and easily controlled. Understand that these threats are not signs of love or care, but rather of desperation and an unhealthy need for control. They don't want you back out of affection, they want to maintain power and manipulation over your life. In their eyes, you are merely an asset, a target they can control to feed their selfish ego. Number 4. They threaten to hurt themselves. When direct threats don't work, the narcissist may resort to a more insidious tactic, threatening self-harm or suicide. This is a highly manipulative psychological tactic, targeting your compassion and sense of responsibility. They want you to believe that you are the only one who can save them from their pain. Even though they know that their issues stem from their own actions, the narcissist will never accept responsibility. Instead, they'll do everything they can to make you feel guilty, convincing you that if you don't return, everything terrible that happens to them will be because of you. The narcissist may beg for your forgiveness, claim they can't live without you, or even say that life will lose all meaning without you by their side. Their words may be expressed weakly, with a sense of sorrow, making you feel like you're the only one who can ease the suffering they're enduring. They may also seek sympathy from others, telling everyone around them that they're a victim who's been abandoned, that they sacrificed everything only to be hurt by your coldness. Sadly, many empaths can be drawn into this tactic, beginning to feel responsible and thinking that they truly have hurt the narcissist. Compassion and sensitivity, qualities that are strengths in an empath, can become weaknesses that the narcissist exploits. The most dangerous part is that when the narcissist pulls you into this chaotic emotional spiral, you may start to accept responsibility for the guilt they place on you. You might begin obsessing over the idea that you're the cause of their suffering. But remember, this is just another of the narcissist's tactics, using your compassion as a tool to get what they want. So, if you feel pressured by such weak threats, remember that you are not responsible for their feelings or actions. They are simply playing a mental manipulation game to keep you within their control. Don't let yourself fall into their trap. Don't feel guilty for things you didn't cause. Hold your ground and remind yourself that you have the right to protect your freedom and mental well-being from those who disrespect and harm you. Number 5. They will disrupt your life. When all else fails, they'll launch an all-out assault across every possible avenue to force a response from you. This is when the narcissist's entire arsenal is unleashed, from texts and emails to social media and even continuous calls. You may find yourself receiving dozens or even hundreds of messages, ranging from innocent to desperate and even harsh accusations. Their pursuit won't just remain online. When texts and calls no longer have any effect, they might show up unannounced at your home or workplace. This could be an unexpected visit where the narcissist suddenly appears to demand your attention. They'll follow you, put you in awkward situations, and pressure you into responding or even giving in. Narcissists know that empaths often don't want to hurt anyone and are compassionate by nature. They exploit this trait to lure you back into conversation, forcing you to respond, even if it's just a single word. And if you're not careful, you might get drawn back into their toxic cycle once more. So, what should you do? Take preventive measures from the start if you decide to remain silent. This could include blocking their phone number, email, and social media accounts. Don't give them any chance to disrupt your life, and don't let these continuous assaults weaken your resolve. Remember, your silence is the strongest way to assert your boundaries and retain control over your life. Number 6. They demand an explanation for your silence. Narcissists have a tendency to blame others rather than self-reflect. In their mind, everything that happens is caused by someone else, so they believe the empath owe an explanation for this sudden silence. This is their way of forcing you to open up, initiating a conversation to regain control. However, the problem is that no matter how thoroughly you try to explain, the narcissist will never acknowledge their mistakes. For them, taking responsibility for their actions is unimaginable, and any explanation you provide becomes just another opportunity to manipulate you. Many empaths find that no matter how patiently they list each reason or analyze every detail, the narcissist will eventually circle back to their old blame cycle. This not only wastes time but also drains their mental energy. Therefore, empaths often choose to remain silent, not because they have nothing to say, but because they're exhausted by the narcissist's relentless manipulation. Silence becomes a way to protect themselves, avoiding pointless arguments and conserving their mental strength. Silence in the face of a narcissist is not a sign of weakness but a powerful expression of inner strength. It's how you choose to protect your energy, to shield your soul from unnecessary harm. When you stop responding, when you stop allowing them to manipulate you, you're reclaiming control over your life. Step by step, you're breaking free from the shadows of toxicity, moving toward the light of freedom and happiness. Remember, you deserve to be loved and respected. Don't let anyone, not even a narcissist, dim your light. Silence is the first step on the path to healing and rediscovering yourself. And I believe you are strong enough to overcome it all.